Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Outpost Review. My name is Patrick Knox, and if you found us from Smoky Mountain Outpost, what up? And for those of you who are just joining us for the first time and you don't know who we are and you've never heard of Smoky Mountain Outpost, that is our main channel. The link is in the description. Go on over there and subscribe. Check it out if you like that kind of thing. We do a lot more work on that channel. This channel is going to be tailored a little bit more towards answering questions, reviewing items and equipment, things that we like up here at the Outpost, and a little bit more in depth on processes and the building of the structures that we have here, as well as some other things. And so we really hope you enjoy it. I just wanted to welcome you. Again, thank you so much for coming over here and subscribing and sharing and supporting us. We love you so much and we can't thank you enough for it. And so welcome to the new channel, guys. I'll see you soon.
Hello everyone, welcome to our new channel, Outpost Review. This is an extension of Smoky Mountain Outpost, which is our main channel. We primarily do building, timber framing. I'm doing some unconventional building, such as this Hobbit style, I think I call it, or hillbilly style, medieval, whatever you want to call it, outdoor compost toilet. I do have a series on this where you can go and check that out if you're interested. If you're new to this channel and you want to check out the building, like I said, that's Smoky Mountain Outpost. That's our main channel. This channel here, my son and I and my daughter, we decided to start this because what we want to do is we want to give you a little bit more in-depth of what we're doing here, why we're doing it, and how we're doing it. So that was the reason for the birth of this new channel. Also, we've got quite a few companies that are beginning to approach us now, and we also wanted to provide you guys, hopefully, some product reviews. That way, if you guys run into a new product or maybe a product that you haven't tried before that we have here that we're using, or something new that might be sent to us for a review, we can provide that information to you on you know, the use of it. Is it any good? What do we think? Just basically being our own opinion based on other things that we may have used before. So the reason that, like I say, we started this new channel, we wanted to be able to provide you guys some more information about behind the scenes and things that we're doing on our main channel. So since this is the birth of a brand new channel, you all can help us out tremendously by subscribing, sharing this with your family, friends, especially if you have been following our main channel, Smoky Mountain Outpost. If you're a subscriber there, please help us get this channel out there where it can benefit other people. And like I say, that's by sharing and subscribing, and hopefully we can reach people, like I said, with our product reviews and more information in detail of what we're doing here at the Outpost. So if you've been following our main channel, we are building a timber frame cabin, and we just got finished setting the floor joist. And so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be insulating the floor, and I've also got some reflective barrier that I'm going to be putting in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up here by the insulation and talk to you about that a little bit more in detail. Okay, I stopped at Lowe's this morning on my way out here, and I picked up some R19, which is 6 1/4 inches thick. It's 15 inches wide, and I got the bats because it's going to be a whole lot easier for me to use here on the cabin as opposed to a roll. The roll, I figured it may fall through, or it just may be very awkward to use. So these are basically almost 8 feet long. I'll be able to, because I did old school blocking in between my 2x10s that I set, so it'll be a whole lot easier because I'm going to have to cut them anyway. Just lay them out, cut them, and stick them in between my floor joists. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit that insulation down in here, and basically it'll go from here to here, and I'm going to push it down enough where I can turn the paper lip up right here, and I'm going to staple it on the inside. So that's going to provide me a dead air space, probably about an inch, inch and a half thick. I'll still be able to see my 2x10s when I get my plywood and I start laying that down on the floor to be able to screw those down. It's also going to provide me an air gap down here because these are 2x10s and it's basically 6 inches thick. It will provide another dead air space between the reflective barrier that I'm going to use on the bottom and the fiberglass between these floor joists. So last week, folks, I made a trip to South Carolina where I picked up this radiant barrier. My nephew had talked to me, I think it was about a year, maybe a year and a half ago, about some fairly new technology that he became aware of. He is almost finished, studying to finish a licensure to be certified as a home inspector. Anyway, so I had some people, subscribers actually, that mentioned that I should watch Boss of the Swamp, that he had used some reflective barrier in one of his structures and he was very happy with it. So I did, and it kind of convinced me that the fact that radiant heat and the ability to be able to reflect that, you know, it was probably something that I should take into consideration here in my structure. So I was down at Lowe's. I was actually looking at insulation last week, and I called my nephew. He told me that he had been doing that in his home and that he had some of it if I wanted to come down and pick it up. But anyway, he lives in South Carolina, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go down and see what he's got to say about this, because he's got quite a bit of information from some research and also some personal use with this as well. So let's check him out and see what he's got to say about it.
Hey everyone, glad to be here. First time at the Outpost. Ricky, thanks for having me on. Talk a little bit about radiant barriers, what they are, what they aren't, and what we hope to benefit by using them. Ricky's already demonstrated what this stuff looks like in one of the previous videos. It's very tear resistant. However, it cuts very well, very easy. So you'll be able to, it'll tack up very, very easily. At any rate, so heat transfer in a home, unwanted heat transfer either into the home during the summer conditions or unwanted heat transfer out of the home during winter conditions happens through one of 3 different means: convection, conduction, and radiant energy transfer. So convection is that, if you've got a hot air gun or something, and you're blowing hot air across something, heating up that object just simply by applying warm air across the surface. Conductive energy transfer is if I take a metal rod or something and I stick it into a fire, that the end of that is going to start to heat up, and as that heat moves, migrates up that metal surface, that's conductive energy transfer. If I touch a hot stove surface, that is conductive energy transfer. And then radiant energy transfer is just simply that invisible energy, electromagnetic energy, electromagnetic radiation, usually in the form of infrared, with an infrared camera, a thermal camera effectively. This is a form of energy that you can see. As the exterior surface of a home in summertime conditions is warmed, both through the heated ambient air as well as directly through the sun through radiant energy, thermal energy is going to conduct through the solid materials of the crawl space wall and begin to warm the interior air, as well as that heated surface is also going to radiate into the crawl space. But that warmed air, it's going to start to rise And when when it goes as high as it can, it's going to spread out across that the underside of the flooring, coming into contact with those, with your floor joist and with the insulation. If you don't have insulation, then with the lower side of the flooring material itself, giving off that that heat that it picked up from outside to that material, and that will then conduct its way into the conditioned space of the home. As it gives up that energy, it's then going to start to fall, and you'll end up with a convective current or flow of air. In the wintertime, that whole thing is reversed. That hot air is warming that air just immediately below the flooring, and as they get over here near the wall, that of course that heat is going to be given off to the cooled wall, because the outside is winter conditions, and it will begin to fall, and you'll have that reverse effect, or the reversed flow. So we've talked about convection and conduction, that radiant. We've kind of hit on radiation. The radiant barrier is designed to reflect radiant energy, and you'd be like, oh, that'd be really nice if it was on top of the roof and maybe visible to the sun. It would just shoot it all right back off into space. But and you're asking yourself, well, how exactly is this going to help me in the dark conditions of a crawl space? Well, the shinier an object is, typically speaking, the lower the emissivity. Radiant barrier, being very shiny, has a very low emissivity, and it will it's very poor at releasing heat. What you end up with is greatly reduced or greatly diminished radiant energy loss through, as long as one of those two sides is in contact with an airspace, or basically not in contact with a solid surface, then it will function as an efficient radiant barrier. And also because it's simply a barrier, because we've reduced the amount of surface area of the lower side of our flooring, because instead of having the floor joist, the lower and sides of the floor joist and then the insulation itself, we still have the insulation, but we've kind of reduced the total surface area of the lower side of the floor. So we've cut down on those on any convection drivers that we might have down there. So that's kind of what we hope to benefit from those. I would like to come in later on with an infrared camera, thermal camera, and kind of show you guys, so that you can see the benefits of a radiant barrier even in crawl space applications. Obviously, if you have a high R, then your return of investment on these, it's going to offer less benefit. But if you've got no insulation at all, or a very minor or even a poor or moderate level of R value, then it may offer you a good low-hanging fruit that is easy to install yourself. That's kind of what we hope to get from all this, and I hope that you guys find my comments be informative, and I hope they help you in your own projects. And let's shoot back over to Ricky at the Outpost.
Well, I certainly appreciate that information from my nephew. Hopefully you guys understand this reflective barrier a little bit more and some of the research behind it. I think that having this R value, having the dead airspace, which is going to create another R value in itself, and also having this reflective wrap on behind all of that to be able to reflect the radiant heat is going to help to insulate this, because I do plan on putting it in my walls, and I do plan on putting it in my ceiling as well as the floor, so it should be able to insulate it very well in the summertime to reflect the sun and the heat, and then also in the wintertime the heat on the inside to be able to retain it and keep most of it in as much as possible. And it also, it's perforated, so it'll be able to breathe. It's not a moisture barrier, so it will be able to, moisture will be able to dry out. The other thing that I did was I picked up some of this Super Duty. It's 6 mil plastic. It's 10 feet wide by 100 feet long. I actually, if you go around the structure of the home, it's about 140 lineal feet. I had to get 2 rolls basically to cover that. So what my idea is, I'm going to mill up some strips that are basically 1.5 inches wide by 1/2 inch thick to be able to drape this from the top to the bottom, and I'm going to screw it to the top and bottom beam, and then every post I'll hit with one that's vertical, so that will basically create kind of like a plastic wall that will help to keep the rain out from the inside. Because, you know, I haven't decided yet, but there's some new research out on venting the underneath of the home or not venting. And I've still got some more research to do in it, but it looks like if you can close it up and seal it up, then you lower the humidity level quite a bit, even in the summertime, because in the winter we don't have to worry about it too much. But so I'm trying to decide now whether I'm going to go with vents or without vents. But I will talk about that in a future video. Also, my nephew's got some information on that we'll ask him about at a later time. Anyway, that's what I'm getting ready to do. Before I want to put this in right here, I just want to be sure that the moisture and rain, if it's a blowing rain, it can't get in on this insulation once I get it placed. So that's the reason that I purchased this. This is going to be the first thing going up. But if you want to see the work on all this, like I say, you go to our main channel, Smoky Mountain Outpost, and that is where you will see all the building and all the different projects and construction and everything else that we do. You know, another thing that we want to be able to do with this channel too is to maybe answer some questions or pose some questions to you all, because we're getting so many subscribers now that and we try to answer each and every one of them, but it's getting quite difficult and time consuming to be able to do that. So maybe in general I can answer a lot of questions that they may have on a channel like this that won't take up time from the main channel, which is primarily, you know, the building and the different things that we're doing here on this homestead. So yeah, you know, if you've got some comments, you know, be sure and leave them on this channel, and it would be greatly appreciated. You know, if you can think of anything that may help us here, or if we can think of anything that may help you all, that was another reason for this, to be able to bring you some reviews and just any information that we can on, like I say, what, why, and how we're doing things here behind the scenes at the Outpost. You know, another thing I do want to say that our other channel that we've got, Smoky Mountain Outpost, and also this channel, it's not in any way a reflection on basically how to, because there's many different ways of doing things. This is primarily our way of what we're doing up here, the way that we want to do it on our homestead. There are plenty of tutorials that are available on YouTube that you can go and check out if you want to do something. I'm not saying that you might not pick up some tips and some tricks that I have learned over the years, or that I do, that might help you. But like I said, you know, what I'm doing, the way I'm building, like I said, there's many different ways that you can do that. So I'm not here to say that this is a how-to channel. This is primarily how I'm doing this here on my homestead. So hey everyone, we hope that you enjoy this channel. We hope that it's going to be somewhat informative, and like I said, more into detail on what we're doing up here at the Smoky Mountain Outpost, which is our main channel. This one we've decided to call Outpost Review. So like I said before earlier, to bring you different perspectives from different angles on what we're doing. We also, on our main channel, Smoky Mountain Outpost, we do monthly giveaways. We've decided we're going to do the same thing here with this channel to help give back to the people that help support us in the efforts and the things that we're doing here. So you can look forward to that. In the beginning, I'm not sure how many videos we're going to be putting out, possibly to start off with probably one a week. But we may work that up into doing it a couple times a week. But at any rate, around the first of the month, you can look forward to some sort of a giveaway here on the Outpost Review. So the only thing that you have to do, just like our main channel, is to go down in the description section, make a comment, and you're in. Okay? At the end of the month, we pull those comments from that beginning video at the first of the month. We draw the winner, and we announce what we're going to give away for the next month. So, like I said, we hope that you enjoy this. Please help support us by subscribing to it and sharing it. We want to thank you. We hope everyone has a great afternoon. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you back up at the Outpost again next time.